Welcome back to Algebra 2, Chapter 9, Section 6 in this book. Isn't it fun that we're doing good, hard, fun math now? No more baby stuff. This is real algebra. Alright, so what we're doing is solving rational equations, and I call this clearing the fractions, and I think this is the most fun and easiest part of Chapter 9. You're allowed to do it if it has an equal sign. So when you see that equal signs with fractions all in here, you go, no problem, I'm going to clear the fractions. Now, deep in our hearts, we hate fractions. All except Michael, who might be watching this. He loves fractions, but everybody else hates fractions. And getting rid of them is deeply satisfying. It's like squishing an ugly bug or something like that. It's just deeply satisfying that we can get rid of them. We can clear them, okay? So, see it says easier and a smiley face. Okay, so here, this is my original problem in blue. And I have fractions on both sides that are equal. What I do is I look at the components of the denominator. And I have an x and a 2. Those are the only components in the denominator. So I am going to multiply this whole thing by 2x, and that's going to make all my fractions go away. It's like being a fairy godmother with getting rid of fractions. Okay, so this is how it works. So I'm going to multiply 2x times x over 4, and the x's cancel out, and I'm left with 2 times 4, which is 8. Now I'm going to do this one. The 2's cancel out, and I'm left with x times 5, which is 5x. Now I'm going to do this one, and the x's cancel out, and I'm left with 2 times negative 11, which is negative 22. Now we have an Algebra 1 problem, don't we? What's further away from x? The 8. We subtract 8 from both sides. These cancel out. Negative 22 minus 8 is negative 30. Y is x not alone. It's being multiplied by 5. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. What I do to one side, I do to the other. Those cancel out. And I'm left with x equals negative 6. Isn't that just your favorite math problem you've ever done? It's so fun. Okay, so here's another one. Ugly fractions on both sides. This one doesn't have a fraction, doesn't matter. We got enough fractions here. We have the equal sign. We're ready to go. The thing that we want to get rid of in the denominator is x minus 2. So first we'll do this one, and those cancel out, and you're left with 5x. Here there's nothing to cancel out, so I have to do 7 times x minus 2. But it's okay, it's all in numerator land, we're good. And now we cross out x minus 2 again, and we're left with 10. We use the distributive property and get 7x minus 14. We sing our song, gathering up our terms, and we minus 7x to both sides there. And we do negative 14 plus 10. Y is x not alone, it's being multiplied by negative 2, so we divide both sides by negative 2, those cancel out, x equals 2. Fun! Okay, this one's fancy. So, this one has for its denominator x plus 1. This one has x squared minus 1, but that's the difference between two squareds. So we can, or this is that one where these are going to be opposite signs and it factors out the middle term. So we factor this into x plus 1 and x minus 1. This doesn't have a denominator, we don't care. And our components of our denominator is x plus 1, x minus 1. This one already has the plus 1, okay, and those are our only components. Now we're ready to do it. So x plus 1's cancel out, and we're left here with 4x plus 1 times x minus 1. Okay, this one, everything cancels out, so we're left with 12. And this one, nothing cancels out, so it's 3 times all of that. Now I multiplied those two together, and I multiplied 3 times the x minus 1, brought down everything else I didn't mess with. Then I multiplied these two together and got that. I gathered up these terms, negative 4x plus 1 is negative 3x. I gathered up these terms, and if you'll notice we have a minus 3x plus 3x, those cancel out. So then I have 12 minus 3 is 9. And now I want everything on one side because I see the squareds. So I know this is going to be a factoring problem. So I want everything this way, so I do minus 9. Those cancel out, and I do minus 3x squared. And those cancel out, and I'm left with x squared minus 3x minus 10. I factor it. What can you multiply to get 10, but add or subtract to get 3, and that's 2 and 5. The bigger number has the sign of the middle term, so it's negative, and this needs to be positive for that to be negative. I set them equal to 0, so they're the opposite sign. X equals negative 2 or x equals 5. Okay, this one is really fun because it's easier than those because we don't have any pluses or minuses. So this is just cross multiply and solve for x. You learned that in pre-algebra. We love this problem. So I'm going to multiply across 2 times x minus 1 on one side, x squared minus x times 1 on the other side. I use the distributive property and get 2x minus 2 on this side. Now I gather up my terms. Okay, and so now I'm going to go this way with it. So I'm going to do minus 2x plus 2 plus 2. And I get 0 equals x squared minus 3x plus 2, and I factor it. And I get that x can be 1 or 2. However, always check it. Because on your calculator, you'll find out that the only answer is x minus 2. X minus 1 is extraneous, and really the reason why it doesn't work is because you would be dividing by 0. Look, if you put this 1 back in right there, that's 1 minus 1, which is 0. That's the one big rule we cannot do, is we cannot divide by 0. So check it with your calculator. They show you in your book how to do that too. But what you do is you make this side of the equals y1, this side of the equals y2, and see where they intersect. Graph them. See where they intersect. Do second trace intersect. Enter. It's very fun. And you will see it only intersects at 2, not at 1. All right? Super fun. That's chapter 9, one of my favorite chapters in pre-algebra. It just gets a pre-algebra in now I'm trying to say pre-calculus in algebra 2. You're not to pre-calculus yet. But anyway, algebra 2 just gets more and more fun with every chapter. So come back and we will do an even more fun chapter, chapter 10, quadratics and conic sections. Math is great.